Hi everyone. So today we're going to discuss how you can add a moisture barrier to your batteries or your kits. And we're going to actually add this as an option for their pre-built batteries. It's a no-cost option. So for people wanting a little better moisture protection, it is something that can be utilized. So to do this, basically, you don't want anything permanent. Any sort of basic silicone works. This is the type of stuff that you can get at a typical hardware store like Home Depot. But there's also electrical grade silicone that you can get. This is more expensive. Some people prefer this type, but we've used both, and we've also had customers use both, and either one will produce good results. So for this review, we're gonna go ahead and use this one, but it would basically essentially be the same. It may just be marketing, to be honest with you. I think all this is slightly lower odor, and this is maybe has a little more odor, but effectively they basically do the both. Have the same type of result. Now, the other thing that you want to do is before you install your ropes, you want to make sure that they're not. And this particular install is for like a V4 architecture. It's a little different than V3, so we're just gonna kind of show it to you. And when you're building your V4 kit, you can sort of do the same thing and get the same results. It will still allow you to remove the lid. That's why we don't want to make a permanent sort of a seal. Just want something that maybe adds a little bit of moisture resistance and probably maybe seals up the battery a little better, but still have the ability to get in the battery if we ever need to. Okay, so next we're going to take the lid off and then show you how we apply the bead. All right. All right, so we went ahead and removed the bolts to the lid. So now the sort of lid is exposed. And what we're gonna basically do is, as you can see, the V4 has an extended lip. So basically towards the top portion of the lip, we're gonna put a bead of silicone all around the perimeter. And then once that is done, we're just gonna go ahead and, close the lid up and just use the bolts at the top to sort of crush the lid in place. And we're not at it. We don't want to put too much to where we have a lot of excess silicone. Basically, just enough to where it will provide a good seal, but not something to where it makes it impossible to remove the lid. But at the same token, it will give us the benefit of added moisture resistance and better sealing for heating. Okay. All right, so as you can see, we have sort of a bead running across the sort of top edge of the lid. I'm sorry, of the case, and we sort of just put it around the perimeter. I mean, it doesn't have to be, perfect. The idea is you want to kind of keep it on the top portion. So as long as you have it on the top portion, that's going to be enough. And then once you have the entire area done, we're just gonna put the lid on and put the bolts on, and a little bit of excess will come out, and that's fine. We're not actually not going to remove it. What we're going to basically do is let it dry, and then any sort of piece that's still sticking, use a utility knife to gently just sort of cut off any of the excess. So then we'll bolt the lid on and show you how it looks like. All right, so the lid is now bolted back on, and as you can see, little bit of excess, really not that bad, maybe a little more here, and we're not going to wipe it off. We're just actually going to keep it there. And well, on this side, it's pretty much seamless. We got like a little bit there, so that's why you don't want to put too much on there. You just want to put enough to where you can get a seal. And once this is dry, we'll take sort of a utility knife, or even maybe like a painter's blade, and just kind of run it across, and that little piece will just sort of come off. So this will give you additional moisture resistance. It will also maybe add a little more rigidity to your case, because now you've got a bond all around, but it's still removable. Standard silicone, such as this stuff, is does a decent job holding, but it's not a permanent bond, and that's really what you want. You just really want the moisture resistance. Remember, the bolts you have are what are actually keeping your lid on. So hope that helps. It's a nice little mod, and like I said, very shortly on our pre-built battery option, we'll give you an option, if no cost, if you want us to add silicone barrier to your lid. You can have us do that before we ship it out, and that's just going to sort of increase moisture resistance and provide a little better thermal stability in terms of keeping the temperatures inside warmer. All right, well, thank you very much.